Greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, you've been under a rock the last few years. We greatly appreciate you joining us, hanging out with us, whether you're in your car, 100.1 FM, or you're watching us on one of our many social media platforms. Good morning to you. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's popping?
Man, long week.
It was quite the week.
Yeah, summertime, man.
You was quite the travelista.
I was. Yeah, got a little sunburn, got a little tan, and talked a little politics.
Yeah, you are a little more brown. Yeah, look at you, medium well.
Yeah, man. Mexico was fun. Just took a little vacation. Didn't do really any work. Tried not to look at my phone at all. Upset I didn't get to make any sports bets while I was in Mexico, but yeah, it was fun.
You'll be all right.
I know.
The jackpot wasn't there yet.
One less dollar I lose. So how was y'all's week?
It was cool. I did quite a few end of the year celebrations at a couple of schools.
Oh, nice.
At Garcia Elementary, and then at Kinney School over at Northeast Middle.
Okay.
That's me. I like it, baby.
Yeah. So it was cool.
When you doing those, is it what, fifth graders going to sixth grade, or just every kid that's transitioning to no grade?
All the kids. So the middle school, of course, was I think it was 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay.
And then Garcia Elementary was kindergarten through fifth or sixth grade.
Through 5.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So yeah, it was a lot of kids around this week.
Like, don't bump my table.
When you graduated from 5th grade?
I do not.
I do.
Did you have a 5th grade graduation?
Yeah, I had a 5th, and then that's when I moved out to Center, and so I had a 6th grade graduation too. So
Trying to remember, I don't think I had a 5th grade graduation.
Phyllis
Wheatley. They closed that school. You know that? Man, we got a lot to dive into this morning. We're going to talk Chiefs at the White House. We'll talk Mahomes, Kelsey combined for $6 million from NFLPA last year. It's a lot of money. We'll talk Negro Leagues. League statistics has officially been integrated into MLB historical records. We'll talk Ryan Garcia. He tested positive for a banned substance. And then, of course, we'll talk some playoffs. Jason Tatum, Celtics. And then Luka. We'll see who you guys got winning the NBA Finals this year.
Yes,
let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, so President Joe Biden honors Chiefs after Super Bowl win. He says, "Welcome back to the White House." For the second time in as many years, President Joe Biden on Friday welcomed and celebrated the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. The visit coming after their Super Bowl 58 over the San Francisco 49ers. Your squad. Why you look at me side-eye?
I forgot that is your team.
Listen here. How could you forget?
Yeah. Bang, bang, Niner.
Yeah, that's all he say. That's all he say.
I got a funny story. Remember that song I was singing?
No.
Water or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
My niece and my daughter were walking down the stairs singing that song. I was like, whoa. Now that I know what it means.
They won't know what it means for another decade.
I didn't know what it meant for like 2 days.
It's cool though, just to see the Chiefs there. President Joe Biden, of course, put on the helmet. So the Chiefs gifted Biden an official NFL helmet, and he put it on.
Oh, did his toupee come off?
That was a struggle. Like I'm sitting there, like, and everybody,
wrong president.
Everybody is saying, "Whoa, whoa!" Like he put it on and attempted to walk in the helmet.
He attempted to walk.
Yeah.
So most would say he needs the helmet to walk around.
But no, it's pretty funny though. But there were more people there, like Chiefs fans, of course, dignitaries. Got to see Mayor Q. A lot of folks from Kansas City, more than last year. It was kind of one of those things where I didn't make it to the first one, so this may not happen again. You got to make the second one, and you could just tell how the energy was.
No, definitely. You gotta make that, because that's one of those, like, it's not necessarily a once in a lifetime thing, especially with this Chiefs team now.
Mm-hmm.
But when do you don't know when you're going back. So that's one of those, you definitely got to pull up and experience it. How was it for you? Did you try to hop the gate to the White House?
It's crazy because my first time, like I followed exactly the directions to the T. Like I wasn't trying to step over no lines.
This time was different.
Yeah. I'm walking there like I'm at home, baby.
You wandering around.
Because there were a couple of media members, so there were 3 of us. Well, actually, last year same amount, including myself. There were 4. Writer for ESPN, Adam Teicher, then Nate Taylor, who writes for The Athletic, and then another Kansas City Star writer. And so last year I was like, where do I go? I got there crazy early. Like they send all the information like at last minute. So they don't give you time to plan. I don't know if it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
Or if it's just like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. They know, they understand where they're supposed to go. Yeah. So last year they sent us the information a day early. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, so they said be there at 3. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get there at 1, just to be sure I'm clear.
You tailgate.
For real, like seriously. So I get there at 1 last year, and I'm in the press briefing room, and the press secretary comes out and starts talking, and everyone knows that I'm there for the Chiefs. They're like, lady next to me, ask a question. And I'm like, no, I'm not asking a question. So I formulated a question this year. Like I was going to ask something. So I get there 3 o'clock. You're supposed to be there at 3:30. So I go to the first gate. They were like, no, you can't come in. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And he's like, no, you got to go around to the south door. I'm like, this is the door that they said So I go back around, and I told the Secret Service, I'm like, well, the guy at the front gate, he was like, no, you go through that gate. Just tell him who you are. And I'm like, oh, so I just flex like that? And I tell him, he's like, yeah. So I go back up. He's like, you're not at this gate. You're at the second gate. So I go to the second gate. They of course let your boy in. I'm walking around like I own the place. Then I see our friends of the show, the Pivot, Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder. And I stood there. I talked to them a little bit. And Channing was like, this was his first time there, and they gave them the last minute deal too. Yep. It's like he booked his flight on Friday morning, and of course it happened yesterday. But he booked his flight earlier that morning. He didn't get his information until like he got off the plane.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Nah, I'm sure it's different security risks around there. Did you you didn't poke one of those Secret Service guys in the chest, did you? Where's my gate?
I almost did. No, so we're standing outside, and they have like a holding part. You could either go and sit down in their press briefing room and listen to that, or you can just stand outside in like this little holding area. And so there were two Black Secret Service agents, young guys too. And I try to go because there's 2 different doors to go where like media can, set up their laptops or whatever, and kind of it's like a media workroom. And then there's a press briefing room, so you can go through the briefing room to get to the work area, or you can go through the back door, which is by where like all the press are standing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, man, I need a vending machine. So I asked a couple of the press members, like, hey, where's the vending machine at? Or do they have drinks or whatever? Why? They was like, yeah, there's a vending machine inside. Just go in there. So I go and I'm pulling on the door. And the Secret Service guy said, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just trying to go to the vending machine, bro. And he tried, I know he was younger than me. He tried to flex. I'm like, come on, man, not today. Just like, you need an escort.
He would have rolled you up and flicked you like a booger.
I'm like, man, I'm just going to the vending machine, man. So one of the press is like, well, you need to take them. So they took me inside. I come outside, I'm like my little Gatorade or whatever. And I looked and I just laughed. I'm like, come on, man, you taking your job too seriously, bro. I don't nobody want to get up in here.
What does a vending machine in the White House look like?
Nice. Nice.
I just
all touch screen, like tap. You can't swipe. You gotta tap your card. No cash. All premium snacks. Like stuff you don't number, you don't even see. Stuff you gotta see at Whole Foods.
Inside Snickers, not the minis.
Oh yeah, it was cool though. Oh man. But other than that, the White House visit was cool. I feel like the Chiefs had a great time as well.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna definitely have to check it out. I was moving around a bit yesterday. I had a tree fall on my house. Last week. So
damage anything? Everything good?
My TV was in your house, man.
Well, it's gone now. Nah. I sold that for parts.
All right, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce earned a combined $6 million from the NFLPA last year. So Patrick Mahomes earned $3.6 million in group licensing and marketing income during the 12-month through February, according to NFL Players Association annual report this week with the U.S. Department of Labor. And then Travis Kelce earned $2.4 million, ranking fourth amongst NFL players behind Mahomes and quarterbacks Jalen Hurts, who earned $2.7 million, and Josh Allen, who earned $2.5 million. So all the earnings come from a group of licensing deals and multiple players negotiated, through NFLPA. Every player in the league received at least $32,000 from NFLPA.
How do they make this money?
It's through just licensing, so jersey sales, TV deals.
Gotcha.
Whoever has an NFL license.
Yeah,
they pay that fee. So
it's Marvin Harrison with Fanatics. He's having some disputes, and he's not signing that contract. He's trying to negotiate for higher money or whatever. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because that you're going to get some kind of fee for signing your name or on the dotted line, but I guess he wants more money.
With Fanatics,
yeah.
Patrick, you know what? With Patrick Mahomes, when you guys won that third Super Bowl, and my pops being an avid Bear fans and a hater of the Chiefs, just like myself, I had to stop him. Like, listen, man, this dude has 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
like Kansas City really hit a lightning in a bottle with this man. Like marketing wise, family, values, relatability, everything. Like perfect city, all that. This guy is Jordan of the league right now, and it's scary because he's here, and I have to hear this until the day he's not. It's going to be a celebration. Hopefully, I'm still alive, but I think he's great for the city and everything. But you guys really hit light in the bottle. I wonder how in that war room when they drafted him, how did that come about when they made that decision? Because I know a lot of people in Kansas City didn't like that pick at the time.
Yeah,
because you guys had Alex Smith, and now you guys are acting like, oh yeah, we knew Pat was the guy the whole time.
Yeah, they didn't know that.
Yeah, so
he was getting booed.
He was. And so speaking of Patrick, that play in addition to the Players Association royalty check, Mahomes earns more than $20 million a year from his early 20 endorsement partners, including Adidas, Coors Light, State Farm, and Subway. Last year, he added Boss, T-Mobile, and Walmart. His latest venture is a coffee brand, Throne Coffee, launched 2 weeks ago and has Mahomes the second largest investor.
Remember his rookie year, he wouldn't take any
smartest
deals?
thing he ever did.
He went well.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah, he did, and it worked out. I seen his wife; she advertises that coffee. It's like an athlete type of coffee that helps you when you're working out or
cold brew
or whatever.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, you don't get a lot of athletes that bet on themselves, and we talk about it all the time. And I know we talked about it last week too. It's like, all right, you have guys like Bronny, right? Who, let's just say he was a number 1 draft pick. Just throwing it out there. He's number 1, or not even number 1, just top 10 lottery pick. He could technically bet on himself because he's not like new to money.
Yeah.
Mahomes, his dad played Major League Baseball. Mom's doing very well. Like, he's not new to money. So it's not like, oh, I got to get anything and everything while I can and stockpile money.
Yeah, it's the same thing that Marvin Harrison did. And I was reading about that story saying how some of the athletes, $32 grand, 64,000 or so, something that they sign when they get to their sophomore year in college because they need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Players like Marvin Harrison, Patrick Mahomes, when they're in college, they don't need that money. And the guy said when he signed that likeness agreement when he was in college, you know, he had to do so many autographs, like 20,000 autographs or so.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically down to the, you know, hour and minute of how many autographs you get to get that check. But when you have a dad that's making 60 million or 40 million or whatever, you don't need that type of money. And you can bet on yourself with that likeness because now who you are and who's on the back of your jersey is actually more than what's on the front of the jersey now.
Exactly. And that's what I heard Chad Ochocinco say something similar to that. And they're like, well, why do you go to Claire's to get you some earrings? He's like, man, they already know who I am. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do I need to prove? Like, I don't need to go and buy a $100,000 watch. I can just go get this little Timex from Walmart or Target, you know, because my name is worth more than what I'm putting on, you know.
I think it was a rapper that said he wore fake jewelry, and he was like, well, who's going to really question me?
Yeah.
You know,
Anthony Edwards, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Ant-Man, you know, like,
who's paying for
I don't need to do that.
Son's school or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Who's the athlete still driving a Tahoe? Is that Kawhi?
Kawhi Leonard.
It's Kawhi Leonard, yeah. His college car. All right, man. The Negro Leagues statistics to be officially integrated into MLB historical records. So the Negro Leagues statistics will officially become part of Major League Historical record. On Wednesday, they announced the move comes more than 3 years after Major League Baseball announced it would be elevating the Negro Leagues to Major League status. So the more than 2,300 players who played in 7 iterations of the Negro Leagues from 1920 to 1948 will be integrated into MLB's database. The Special Baseball Records Committee of 1969 voted to include the American League, National League, American Association, Union Association, Federal League, and Players League, but did not give the Negro Leagues Major League status.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes a lot of stats. You look at Negro Leagues legend, Baseball Hall of Famer Josh Gibson. He'll become MLB's single season record holder in batting average at .466 in 1943, slugging percentage 974 in 1937, and OPS and 1.474 in 1937. So Gibson, who played for the Pittsburgh Crawfords and Homestead Grays, also becomes MLB's career leader in all 3 categories.
So my conspiracy brain.
Okay.
I don't know why this happened. Does this happen because of the relevancy of baseball falling off and not really being attractive to, Black Americans? Or is this a step in the right direction with their new partnership with the Negro League Museum?
I think financially it makes sense. Because when you look at what the Negro League and friend of the show, president of Negro League, Bob Kendricks, what he did during COVID, where you saw the tip of the cap.
Yeah.
And you saw guys like Michael Jordan. You saw a lot of guys who don't even play baseball, you know, kind of buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, okay, well, this makes a lot of sense where we can kind of monetize on it, you know, whether it's good or bad. I think it's good for the Negro Leagues baseball and the history of the Negro Leagues. However, like you said, it's baseball. Not a lot of us play. My son's in a tournament right now. I had a game this morning, and he's the only one out there that looks like him. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's 4 fields, I would say 60 players. Right. Like it's just, that's a lot of tournaments are like that, even his league.
And even when we were growing up, we were the only Black team in most tournaments. So.
And I think that it may just make sense financially for Major League Baseball. I mean, you're getting like Mike talked about earlier, fanatics. Like that's becoming more popular. The insignia of a lot of these players. I mean, you get Francisco Tatis Jr., a lot of these Salvador Perez, a lot of these kids love these guys, and they're people of color, right? Like, so it just makes sense for them to say, okay, well, I think this is what we need to do. Whether it's the right move or the wrong move, I think ultimately Major League Baseball wants to make money.
And I think you made a point of monetization. I think not that I think it's when you're selling a product,
Mhm.
and when you're trying to build the business around that product, you need to be able to tell the story.
True.
And my personal opinion is the Negro Leagues and their 7 iterations have a lot more intriguing stories than Major League Baseball has put forth.
I can agree with that.
And I think you have a lot of legend in that game versus the Major League game. I think you have a lot greater stories that can be told, and some that are quite unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like when you
Satchel Paige pitching till he's like 80.
Several Satchel Paige stories, several Josh Gibson stories. You have stories like Cool Papa Bell that can throw at third, miss that throw, run all the way to retrieve the ball, and then throw the runner out at home. Just the speed of that. They said he was so fast he could flick the light switch and be in the bed before the lights went out. And that's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of legend around the game that completely got overlooked, and you really have to applaud people like Bob Kendrick and his team that kept those stories alive, because who else was going to do that? And you never know who would have the passion for that. And Mr. Kendrick consistently keeps the Negro Leagues in the forefront, and we could just a round of applause for him for that. So
shout out to the Negro Leagues and the organization as a whole, just preserving those records and that information. That's one. Two, when you had mentioned 2020, I think that's when America kind of had its second revolution, everything that was going on, and it was talked about doing that. But then on the other end, I think, what does it matter? Because they're not letting the people in the steroid era. So what does these records actually mean? When you have somebody like Barry Bonds and other players that are not let into the Hall of Fame, and they've broken certain records in the Major League Baseball.
But how does that relate? Because then that's considered cheating. So then were the Negro Leagues cheating?
They weren't cheating, but they're not letting everyone in. And I understand allegedly cheating with Barry Bonds. But why now? Is it monetary? What does it really mean? Because as you said, the popularity of baseball is down, and people don't, think about those records. Like, back in the day when baseball was somewhat of a favorite, you can mention like Ty Cobb, his batting average, Hank Aaron, with the home run, or Babe Ruth being that or whatever. The popularity is not that, so it's just kind of letting them in. I would like to see them do is any of the family members that still exist, invite them to Cooperstown and have them inaugurated into the league, into the Hall of Fame,
and
with their accolades.
And that's what I think they move forward with a couple of ceremonious things in that right. But I think more importantly than Cooperstown, I think every baseball broadcast should talk about different things, and especially things that you can find in the Negro Leagues Museum. Different fun facts. Like there needs to be a light shown more than just in the record books. Like this needs to be constantly talked about.
I agree.
Fans need to be educated. Just how we're watching this game against Angel Reese and whatever the other girls' team. Like they're putting up graphics, showing what they did in college, putting up graphics for stats and things. They need to have that on literally every MLB broadcast.
What's funny that you say that is because an incident, I text you guys on the group chat about what I saw, whatever. I'm not going to get into it here. But I was thinking the day before when I was watching TV, I was like, man, every time I watch some form of History Channel, there's always something about, Nazi Germany, World War II, World War I, quote unquote, you would say white culture of history. It's like, it's all this history in the Black community, all this history in our culture, whatever. And there's not a 24/7 of history about what we came about. It's only Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, et cetera, Barack Obama, whatever. I was thinking, man, we need that same history. I can tell you everything about, I'm not everything about World War II or whatever, but I can turn on the channel. We can turn the channel right now, and we can watch something about Nazi Germany and Hitler and the rise of the Jews, et cetera, whatever. But I can't find a channel for that for us.
And
that should be something that is implemented into our history, or whatever, because Kyrie gave that statement years ago. You want to put some information, keep something away from us, put it in the book, or whatever. But you can also televise it now and make it 24/7, just like everything else.
No, yeah, I mean, it's just I think there's an opportunity for Major League Baseball as an organization to really platform a lot of culture that they've purposefully overlooked. And I just think there needs to be a lot of effort put into educating their fan base, because I mean, and quite frankly, a lot of the Negro Leagues teams had really great jerseys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have really great merch up to this day. And I think that the MLB needs to shine that light there, to really kind of just, I mean,
how about build a stadium here somewhere in Kansas City, and then how they have interleague play. You have, like, when they do Jackie Robinson Day, you have a shining day down here, which brings more attention to the Negro.
It's already on 18th of Vine.
Well, yeah.
Well, no. A Major League Baseball stadium.
I mean, so two things about that is they currently have Satchel Paige Stadium.
Yeah.
Which funds need to be generated to build that up. Like, that used to be the stadium where people would play, right there on Swope Parkway, or Blue Parkway now. Two, they currently do a Negro Leagues game every year.
Here.
This, well, they've done it here.
What stadium?
They've done it at the Royal Stadium. And so, okay, hold on. So they're doing it now. There's a Negro League stadium that's in Mississippi, I believe, or Alabama.
Yeah,
and they're doing it. Yeah. They're doing it a game this year in the end of June. I can't remember what teams will be playing, but they currently do it. But then there's a couple of teams where they do the Negro Leagues Day or Jackie Robinson Day, where they won't wear their uniforms. Like, of course, the Royals, they'll wear the Monarchs, and you have the Pittsburgh Pirates who wear the Grays. And so there's a number of teams. So, like, you get the Yankees, they won't wear a throwback uniform. They'll continue to wear their current uniform. And then you get the I can't remember the other teams, that the Boston Red Sox, they won't wear. It's like teams like that who feel like, oh, the pinstripes are greater than anything known to man. They won't change up their jersey. So I feel like there's still some old time culture things that need to be. It's like, oh, come on, man. It's bigger than you. It's for the fans.
It's not economical.
And yeah, they just feel like, oh, we ran these pinstripes no matter what. Like, we don't care. Y'all wear the Monarchs, we still gonna wear these pinstripes.
And that's the stubbornness that it's gonna take to get out of the league. I mean, you're looking at these institutions changing. The NCAA news with being able to pay players. Like, there are these institutions that have been ran traditionally for so long that really just, I mean, they need a new path. And especially when you look at how times have changed, and when you look at the demographics of the different generations, really, the generations that are younger than us, than millennials, because even millennials, we don't enjoy baseball like boomers and Gen X. What was it? Gen X enjoyed. So I definitely think there's some paths forward for baseball to make some new fans, but that stubbornness has to shift.
and on top of that, and we can move on, I think now you're getting I talked about Francisco Tatis Jr. You're getting a lot of guys like that who are creating that shift. Now, I mean, you're getting the cleats that we wanted when we were kids, where there was only one, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yep.
Right? Like, now you're getting the Jordan 1 cleats, like Jordan cleats that were like, you saw the major league players have them, one or two, but you like A-Rod, Derek Jeter, you saw those guys with them, but we couldn't get them. Now you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you'll see New Balance, you'll see you won't even see Griffey's anymore, but you'll see like Bryce Harper's, you'll see all these players, and then you get Jordan brand, you get the all color Jordan 1s and blue, the reds. Like, if that was the case when we were growing up, I think more of us would be into baseball.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You remove that stubbornness and you figure out, like, it takes different partnerships for your brand to really dive deep in the culture.
Yeah.
And again, they've intentionally overlooked that, to keep the dollar circulating in their favor versus like creating a community of baseball lovers. And I mean, that's just what it's going to take with a lot of things, from NFL to MLB to, and it takes those different partnerships. And I mean, the NFL is trying things with Jay-Z and Rock Nation,
of course,
for their entertainment, but it's just going to take a lot more than these symbolic things.
Yeah. They even have like jewelry now that these young guys are you're pitching, man. It's like it's a little circle ball jewelry that have like the little diamond things on it. It's pretty cool. They like $80. Peyton's like, man, I want one. I'm like,
Diamond for a fly ball with 300,000 on your neck.
You do.
Absurd.
You do.
That's
like Chisholm out in Miami, he wears them. It's it's crazy. All right, so another crazy thing that's happened this week. Ryan Garcia, his lawyers say lemonade flavor supplements is tested positive for the banned substance. So the legal team of boxer released a statement Thursday announcing that the 2 supplements he declared to doping authorities has tested positive for, I believe it's called ostarine contamination. So ostarine is the same banned substance that Garcia tested positive for following his breakthrough win over Devin Haney. So the attorneys claim that the results show Garcia was a victim of supplement contamination and that he has never used performance-enhancing supplements. They also pointed to previous negative tests and clean hair samples as indications that Garcia never knowingly ingested ostarine.
So we were in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
My cousin calls me and he's blowing my phone up, and he was texting me to ask me to put a bet on Ryan Garcia. And I guess the odds were like 1,000 to 1 for him to lose.
Yeah, of course.
But I know boxing. I didn't. In Vegas, when we were there for the Super Bowl, I went into Bobby's room or Ivy's room to see, the rich people play poker. And it's this guy there drinking, saying absurd things about other people in the boxing world. And he had all this attention. And I noticed that they used these security guards. I'm like, what are these people here? And I'm just sitting there watching. And it ended up, and long story short, it ended up being Ryan Garcia. And he's drinking, having a good time. And he had a match like, a month and a half later. I remember
you said that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when my cousin was blowing my phone up saying, put money on there, he's going to win, I understood why the odds were so high for him to lose. Because if I'm seeing him on 2 days drinking and having a good time, not preparing for the league, and then you put this doping situation, now it all makes sense.
Now it all makes sense. Because leading up to the fight, I feel like he was a lot more vocal than he's ever been.
Very vocal.
I feel like he was a lot more feisty. Feel like he was a lot more tenacious. Like, I don't think I'd ever seen, and I had heard of Ryan Garcia before. I'm a very, very surface level boxing fan, but still, I had never seen that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was him just hyping himself up.
Listen.
Now we see the dope that was in there.
If I had my phone recording in that room, hearing the conversation I had, I could have sold it to TMZ for easy 6 figures. Easy 6 figures based on the things that he was saying about people that we know. He was talking about Floyd Mayweather in a very liberal way. And I was sitting there and I'm focused on poker. I'm seeing, Mike Jenkins in there, certain players, check raising somebody for $200,000 on the turn or whatever. I was more interested in that, and other than him telling us things about Floyd that we already know or whatever, but then going in, in the details about certain things in the boxing world. But now it all makes sense, man. Just take the guilty verdict. I wish I would have betted on you though, because.
And you know what, too, is like when we look at the fight, and before I know this or knew that he, tested positive, I was like, man, he really beat up Devin Haney. Like, he just looked like he was much stronger, looked like he didn't get tired. And I look at what ostarine and what the effects are, and the effects from ostarine, you take it improves muscle mass and strength levels. It also enhances muscle synthesis, strength, reduces fatigue, and promotes protein synthesis without causing fat gain or water retention. Whether fat loss or muscle gain, it yields remarkable results. So that's ostarine.
So does he have to give back the money?
I'm not sure on that. I know that he will probably be suspended. Well, he's facing suspension.
Okay.
And what happened is they're saying that, similar to baseball, So we hear about guys that, test positive for PEDs, and they say, oh, well, he took something or he ate something, some bread or something from, Mexico or wherever it was that included. But that's just a mask for, you're taking it. Oh, well, I ingested something. Hey, I took it, but it was unknowingly taking it. Right, like, so your suspension won't be frowned upon, like, cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah. So you won't be frowned upon when you say, oh, well, I did take PEDs. Well, I just did. If I didn't know, then I ain't hurting nobody.
He was definitely cheating.
Yeah, so that's what they're trying to do. It's like, oh, well, it's just a masking agent. Like, oh, well, he took it, yes, but we don't want the suspension to be as harsh. But then you get Ryan Garcia after the fight. Yeah, I took PEDs, whatever. Yeah, I didn't make weight. Whatever, like it's his, like you were saying, he was talking very liberal after the fight as well.
No, listen, this guy was drinking a beer at weigh-ins. I think if he wasn't doing that, his story would be more believable.
Yeah,
like, I unknowingly, whatever. Yeah. Like, nah, man, you was kicking it. You was kicking it, knowing that. Listen, I can do whatever I want and do the bare minimum.
Yeah,
and have a stronger muscle mass, reduce fatigue. Like, if he doesn't have to give back the money, then it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
like giving up the belt. Okay, cool. I still beat you.
Yep.
So if he gets to keep the money, then
it don't matter that
it's not matter.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we'll dive into some NBA Finals action and talk a little bit more about Tyronn Lue, friend of the show. Yeah. He's got a little money that he got coming to him. New deal. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at KCWeSpin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Use hashtag talk about it, and we will talk about whatever topic you want. You can text us, I guess you could say X us instead of tweet us, message us, and send over your topic. We'll talk about it. All right, so man, NBA Finals are here.
Yes.
Who you guys going with? Because Jason Tatum and the Celtics are favored over Luka Doncic and the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. So the Celtics open up as 225 favorites. Thursday at ESPN Bet, the Mavericks were listed as plus 185 underdogs after clinching Game 5 blowout of the Minnesota Timberwolves for the Western Conference Finals.
So would this be the first of the 5 that Jaylen Brown told Taylor Rooks that they were going to win?
Possibly. I'm going with the Celtics because, and here's why. I said this yesterday. Young lady has a like Instagram Live sports show that she does, and she posted a question: does the Dallas Mavericks is their backcourt better than the Boston Celtics backcourt with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? And I said Tatum is hands down one of the best players in the world. I could say that about Luka as well.
Who's the best player of the four?
And I would say Jason Tatum of both teams is the best player of both teams. His scoring ability, he kind of lacks on defense a little bit, but overall, I think he can score in more ways than Luka can. When he wants. Now, don't get me wrong, it's when he wants to. It's what Jason Tatum are you going to get that shows up to the gym?
Have you seen this guy, Luka?
I've seen him.
Listen.
I've seen him.
Hookah Luka.
I've never seen somebody so methodically slow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And still gets to their position. He can score. Listen, he can do the step back. He can do the post up. He can do off the glass.
Tatum can
He
do
can
all
do the
that.
fade away.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Tatum relies too much on the 3-pointers, and he's shooting 37%. I guarantee you that Luka shoots better. Luka's a better scorer. I think Luka's more craftier with his handles. I think his footwork is a lot better. Tatum is a little bit stiff to me.
So Kyrie doesn't have an argument in this at all.
Kyrie definitely has an argument.
But I think to where
Kyrie of the Cavs, not Kyrie of Dallas
I
Mavericks.
think Kyrie of the Dallas Mavericks as well. I think where the difference is that Kyrie's 6'2", and Luka and Jason Tatum is 6'8", 6'9". Gives them a different angle, different way of going against taller opponents, whatever, for them to score. And
I mean, shoot, Jalen Brunson came out. He had a coming out party this year in the playoffs, and he's barely 6 foot. So
Jalen Brown. Are you talking about
Brunson? Jalen Brunson.
But the thing is, though, I don't think that's going to last. Just like Allen Iverson, I think as a taller player, you can do more because you can post up, you can get closer to the bucket. It's easier for you when you're taller. I think when you're a shorter player, whatever, you have to rely on your skill set and your speed, which then diminish over time. But Luka to me, is the premier scorer in this thing, and I got the Mavs. I think it goes game. I think it goes 7.
I think it goes 7. You got 2 guys or 4 guys that can score the ball. Like now it's going to be.
So who's the X factor between both teams, though?
PJ Washington and
because PJ Washington definitely.
Porzingis is back.
And Porzingis, and I think I think Dallas running the pick and roll. I think they were second in the league in lobs.
Yeah.
And I think if they can expose that, because you got Al Horford.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to play on the pick and roll against Lively and the other big man. And I think if PJ Washington can just shoot better and maintain 15, 8 rebounds or so, and 2 or 3 3-pointers a game, I think they can beat the Celtics, because I think Kyrie stepping on that lucky.
I think Drew Holiday and Derek White are the X factors for the
Derek White. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Derek White and Drew Holiday. Like game 1 against Indiana, Drew Holiday came out and had 30.
I think Derek White.
No. Drew Holiday had a good game the first game too
against
the Pacers. I mean, you and that's how it's been going. Like, you getting these guys that aren't supposed to be the stars that are coming out and having really good games, whereas.
And that's what I'm saying, because I think the 4 guys that we mentioned, I think the 4 of them definitely have a monumental battle between them.
Scoring.
But I think it's going to be that 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th guy up that's really going to make the difference.
Yep.
And who do y'all think has the deeper bench?
I would say Celtics.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's an alma mater battle too.
It is.
Duke, and then you got Jason Kidd, Cal, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and then former Celtic Kyrie Irving,
former Mav.
Former Mav. Yep. So it's gonna be fun. This series, I'm definitely locked in, like
tapped in.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series to watch. All right, congrats to friend of the show, Tyronn Lue. He's reportedly signing a 5-year deal worth $70 million. The Los Angeles Clippers have agreed to a new long-term contract with friend of the show, head coach Tyronn Lue. The team announced Wednesday. So $70 million on 5 years. It's a lot of money.
Thank LeBron for getting Darvin Ham fired.
Yeah. That definitely helped.
Supply and demand.
That definitely helped because the Clippers did not want, when the report came out that Ty Lue was a front runner to go to the Lakers. Lakers ownership or Clippers ownership said, "Hold up, we getting this new stadium. We need somebody. Yeah, we need somebody who's a veteran, who's a players coach. All the players in the league love T. Lue.
No, definitely.
All of them do.
Definitely.
And they were like, "Oh no, we ain't letting you go nowhere. We sewing you up 5 years, 70 mil, giving you an offer you can't refuse."
I remember watching him, Central versus Raytown. Now he's making he's got 70 mil.
Still an iconic game.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
You think they keep Paul George now though?
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul boxing match is postponed after Tyson's recent medical scare. So the boxing match between former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and social media influencer Jake Paul has been postponed from its original July 20th date. Paul's most valuable promotions announced on Friday. So the boxing match between former heavyweight Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is going to be moving. They haven't released a new date yet, but Tyson, I guess, had some ulcers in his stomach.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
that's nuts. But I mean, it's his age. I mean, look at his age.
Yeah, how old is Tyson now?
58 years old,
Yeah.
or 57. He'll be 58 in June.
He's definitely in his 50s.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. You think Tyson was taking? I think he was training seriously.
Oh,
I think
Tyson's
once he
always-
locked in, he
yeah,
just
he's-
it went back to old Tyson.
Yeah, I don't think he stopped training, but I think this is one of those things with age.
Yeah.
And cocaine.
He has a marijuana strain now.
And yeah, he's doing very well at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, former NBA star Dwight Howard, now player and part owner of the Taiwan Mustang. So Dwight Howard would not just play in Taiwan, but he would own part of the team and the league.
Oh, wow.
Dwight tweeted, "Who you know playing the league that they own? I am blessed to have the opportunity. We are going to change the world. It's NBA playoffs too. I'm sending my scouts all over, and I'm doing heavy recruiting this summer. Forget going to Cancun. Come on over to Asia, the tournament, and play in my league. Currently looking for another NBA player and play on my team, the Taiwan Mustang." He said, "Y'all might as well get that Shaq and Kobe meme ready because we gonna dominate."
I mean, Joe Johnson's still out there.
I don't know. But here's the thing. When you play overseas, there's a lot of money in it, man. A lot of money. They got a lot of money over there, especially China.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Japan.
The White said it ain't no big three. It's just big me.
I can say so many things about Dwight Howard right now. And him playing in Asia and Taiwan. And
because you know the story of Taiwan. Yeah.
Can't tell what it is. And he's just like, he don't care.
Taiwan and the Philippines.
You know what? It makes so much sense now. Like all I think about when I think about Dwight Howard is that story that Kobe said. You know, the first thing he did was call and he was asking about the nightlife and all that, and how he knew they weren't going to win because he wasn't serious.
Yeah.
And how he joked around. There's a former teammate of ours that had the same type of characteristics that now.
Yeah.
You know, so it just, you are who you are, man. Hey, have fun, man. Hey, get that money.
Yeah, but I feel like this is a new move, though. Like, no matter what Dwight Howard, we know him for him as like his antics or whatever and stories about him. I think it's smart because there's a lot of money overseas, and if you could help this become, because you can get high school kids that can go overseas and make some money. I mean, we saw the ball players do it.
Yeah.
And if you get these guys that can actually like go overseas and develop a name for themselves, get the pro like Bronny. Let's say Bronny goes overseas and plays.
That won't
He'll
help,
get.
right.
I understand that because he doesn't have to.
Right.
But let's just say you get a guy that's like a Bronny that
Brandon
doesn't
Jennings.
have doesn't have the backing that Bronny's parents have. They can go over there, learn how to be a pro, and then come back and dominate.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have some kind of feeder system. If you don't have a feeder system, then it's kind of like a shot in the dark.
I think that's why they came up with what was it, G League.
Yeah, but the G League hasn't really.
It's not as developmental as it is. They have like little camps now. But Brandon Jennings tried that. But I think what happens is that the competition is not the same. And if you can't maintain that level, that you had here in America, you're gonna come back. And Brandon Jennings had a good career, but he wasn't as if he was to come out of high school. But then again, he was 6'2".
Of course.
Other factors to his game or whatever. But I think after the NBA, like if you play a couple of years, because you remember
that's the big three.
Remember Dante Exum though.
Yeah,
you know, he was a huge, rave when he got drafted by the Mavericks, and then it didn't pan out, and then he went back overseas or whatever, and he came back or so. So I think that for players that are deteriorating in the NBA game,
they going to the big three.
Depends how much money.
Yeah, I mean, because if Ice Cube got the $10 million to pay Caitlin Clark, these guys are gonna be like, hey, I'm bringing in money. You got to start paying me more.
I wonder how long the big three is gonna last though.
I mean, it's lasted since what, 2018.
It's got the funding, so I don't think it ceases.
That's what, 6 years? Yeah,
if Kobe
it's been 6 years.
I think if Kobe didn't pass, it would have been really up there if he would have played the big three.
Kobe wasn't paying them.
He wouldn't play. He need ownership rights.
Stop it.
All right, we're going to take another break. Coming back, we'll be with our Hater 11 segment. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com, exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com. Purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Let's get to our Hater 11 segment.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
We're starting off with our sneakers of the week. We have some Air Jordan 17 low lightnings. Kind of fire.
Nah.
You don't like these?
No, I'll pass on those.
Oh, man. He's kind of fire, man. I
go with
hard
those
pass. Then you got the Asics Gel Light.
I hope those look better in person because they look okay.
They fire.
They look better. I mean,
Kind of got like the distressed look.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. Then you got the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Light Oralwood Browns.
I would like the reverse of this colorway.
Okay. And then you got the Dunk Low Phillies.
There you go.
I don't like them.
Nah,
You don't like these?
with your Jalen
Gray?
I still don't like
Gray and green? No?
I'm going with the Asics.
them. Nah.
Yeah, my favorite this week would be the Asics as well.
Yeah. Facts.
All right. Gable Stevenson, Olympic gold medal winner and NCAA champion wrestler, signs with the Bills. So Olympic gold medal winner and 2-time NCAA champion wrestler Gable Stevenson is moving to the gridiron. Stevenson has signed with the Buffalo Bills and will attempt to make the team as a defensive tackle, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter.
And they said he's never played football a day in his life.
Never played football a day in his life.
But I mean, wrestling is one of those sports that's a conduit to football with your hand work and all that. But
yeah.
See how
So he's 285 pounds. That's when he competed. He's currently 265 pounds, 6'1". And so you can look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was 6'1", 280. That's what they're thinking he could be. It's like, all right, you don't need to know anything else. We'll go after the quarterback.
Good luck to you. I want to hear a story about like a 40-year-old man who learns how to be a kicker and goes in. No, I tell kids now, man, listen, you want to play football, man, learn how to be a kicker.
No.
One thing he has going for himself, his Bills coach Sean McDermott was a star high school wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He won 2 national titles at 61-0. So
McDermott.
That's cool.
He just needs the rest of them Chiefs, man. That's how
All right, so Angel Reese reveals custom Barbie shoes she's wearing actually today versus the Fever. Hater or love it.
I love it. And she's playing like a dog right now too.
Reeboks?
Yeah, she's with Reebok.
Yeah, I would never wear them, but
I think if there was like a little unisex to it or whatever.
I don't like the I'm not the target demographic for Barbie merchandise. And
All right, so Cat Adoption Center to be named after Tyler Bass, following his $400,000 in donations in support of Bills kicker. Hater, I love it.
See, we was just talking about kickers.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
So of course, Tyler Bass missed a field goal against the Chiefs in the AFC divisional game, and so they don't. That's what Bills Mafia does. Something happens during the game and goes bad for you, they'll donate money to whatever organization you're with.
That's support, but I get it.
Yeah. What do you guys have going on for the rest of the day?
I'm gigging later today, so private event teams.
How about you?
Shopping for a Bentley.
Shopping for a Bentley. All right.
I'm winning that lottery.
Let me know how that goes. All right, guys. We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Remember, you can use #TalkAboutIt and tweet us, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. You catch a rewind of our show on Mondays, 100.1 FM. Like us on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all of our personal platforms as well. Until next week, we are out of here. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.